What was your "oh shit my life is over my parents are gonna kill me" moment you had as a child/teen? My parents paid for my mobile phone subscription. Got a girlfriend and called a lot more. Too much more. Raked up a 600-year bill. My soul left my body that day. My sister and I, in 2010, had just gotten unlimited texting for $25 a month. I was 15 and didn't pay for it. Between us we sent and received almost 30,000 texts that month, which without the plan would have charged us 15 cents a text. End of month, the bill comes round and the cell company never applied the unlimited texting, so we received a $4,500 plus bill. They fixed it quickly, but I never thought I was going to die that much before. Same exact thing happened to me. We had unlimited texting and they forgot to apply it, so they charged something like 10 cents a text. My dad told me the bill was $12,000, but now that I'm older that sounds like bullshit. Still a stressful moment. I'll never forget that calm little Saturday in June that was broken apart by my dad's thunderous roar of "who the duck is texting so much?" This sounds like a sitcom, haha. Except instead of a laugh track we just got beat lamau. There was a small lizard trapped in our garage under a pile of wood, so I moved some of them so it could get out. I must have accidentally knocked over a larger plank in the process, that landed on my dad's car and went straight through the windshield. Lizard was fine though. Ah, well that's all that matters. Me and a few buddies got arrested for some very foolish and regrettable criminal mischief. We managed to keep it from our parents by getting to the mailbox first to destroy court notices and targeted letters from lawyers. We thought we were in the clear too, until the newspaper article with our names in it came out. I bet that conversation with the parents you would have had still haunts you. They ran to the station and locked themselves up before the moms got to them. My mom always said that if you get arrested you better stay in jail because you don't want what's coming when you get out. She's right. My uncle was a bit of a troublemaker in his youth and my grandfather told him, "Son, if you're ever put in jail, you get one phone call. Don't waste it on me." One time I snuck out of the house, and when I went to sneak back in the door was locked. We never locked the doors to the house, so I knew I'd been caught. Lived on a farm, so I just went up to the hay loft to sleep the rest of the night. I one time woke up late for school because my alarm didn't go off. I am incredibly blind without my contacts and just glanced at the clock and was very late. In a furious panic to try somehow make it to the bus, I put my contacts in, dunked my hair in water and grabbed my backpack and jacket as I sprinted to the bus stop. It was the time of year where it's dark outside well into the morning, so it was still pitch black. No one was at the bus stop, so I figured I missed. I still waited for quite some time in case it showed up. When I realized I was so late it wasn't coming, I walked back to my house, knowing I would have to wake my mom up to take me to school. Fortunately, when I walked through the front door, she was already up waiting for me. She greeted me with, "Where the hell have you been?" I responded that I was sorry, but late for the bus and needed her to take me to school. She glared at me and told me it was something like 4 in the morning. I had somehow misread my alarm clock in my state of panic and tried to explain that I really did think I was late and was really at the bus stop. She just assumed I had snuck out with friends the night before and was just coming home, something I had been doing off and on for a while at that time. So, I was grounded for sneaking out, when in reality I just woke up too early to go to school. I skipped school by leaving the house, climbing on the garage and waiting for my mom to leave. I jumped down to let myself in as she drove off and set myself up for a day on my PS1. She then came back as she'd forgotten something and I wanted to die in a hole. The yelling was something to behold. Didn't do that again. That reminds me of my friend. He decided he wanted to skip school. However, his mom stayed home all day. He and our other friend decided to hide under the porch of another friend of ours. They played cards under that porch the entire school day, because everyone on the street knew everyone. Personally, that sounds boring and I am glad I went to school. Yeah, but now they have a cool funny story about that day. I thought it was a good idea to play with some candles while having a LOTR marathon. Turns out that was a bad idea because I ended up getting distracted and set the family couch on fire. I frantically put it out and threw a blanket over it. I didn't leave that couch for a week. 17 years old, had a party while the parents were out of town. I had to work the next day, but timed it so I would have plenty of time to clean before they got home that evening. Came home from work, the sprinklers are on and their car is in the driveway. Driving down my driveway, I was anxiety and fear personified. I walk in the house and my mom tells me, "Your dad had to leave before you got here, otherwise he was afraid of what he might do to you." Jesus Christ Almighty. So we live in a 2-story colonial. My parents are away on vacation. I'm in the yard and tossing a baseball up in the air and catching it, just a 9-year-old entertaining myself. I think to myself, hey, let's loft it onto the first split-level roof and then it'll roll off and I'll catch it. Second toss, crash, shatter sister's window. Grandma was babysitting. Grandma reported, "I was smoked." "Your grandma snitched on you?" She sang like a canary. Never go against the family, time to call a hit on your grandma. She's the Italian one. It'd have to go to her to place the hit. Yo, can you kill this woman? But that's me, I know. Best part is my grandpa is NYPD. Talk about playing all sides. Ha 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 ha, this thread keeps getting better every time I expand it. When I was 6, I spilled grape juice on the tan carpet in the living room. I put a pillow over it, laid on the pillow, and vowed that I would stay there the rest of my life so my parents would never find out. I lasted about 45 minutes. My mom was more upset that I got grape juice on the pillow, rather than the carpet. When I was 28, I spilled a gallon of house paint on my basement carpet. We put a rug over it. You had a solid plan. I have 3 older brothers. The 2 oldest put the youngest one's head through the wall. They tried to plaster it and it looked horrible, so they put a poster over it. The 2 oldest told the youngest, "Shh, don't tell Mom, it's a surprise for her." Mom gets home from work. Youngest screams, "Mom, we have a surprise for you. I'm gonna put you through a ducking wall." I was 10 years old, only pretending to drive a car with my friend in the back seat. I knew not to touch the ignition or the gearbox. So the car is parked on an incline. I lowered the handbrake and the car starts to roll backwards, moving steadily and with increasing momentum towards a concrete wall. Thankfully, I knew which one the brake was. So I pressed down on it with all my might and told my friend to get out of the car and call my dad. All the while pressing down on that brake, I thought, yep, today I either die or my dad kills me. I lived to tell the tale. I had a very similar experience at a wedding when I was 7. It was held at a country club, and I climbed into a golf cart that was parked on top of a hill. I pretended to drive, but I accidentally hit something, and the cart started to slide. My idiot 7-year-old brain told me it was okay to run around the cart and try to push it back up the hill. However, I was obviously much lighter than the cart, and it started to push me downhill. My dad found me just before the golf cart ran me over and was understandably very upset. Glad I survived there. Oh my ducking god, same. Literally exact same context as you, except I kept all limbs inside the ride. It was on a steep downhill, and it almost ran right into their open garage with a car in it. I have never seen my 50+ yo dad run that fast in my life. He ran down next to me, jumped in, and got on the brake and stopped it at it, brake to brake. Wow, sounds like your mistake activated his super dad mode. Yeah, honestly, it'd never even seen him run before, like, it'd seen a light jog, but nothing more due to his bad back from years of lifting way heavier shit than he should. But he flat out sprinted. It was pretty cool to see. He was probably sore for months after that. Parents were away for the weekend. I took my dad's keys and took it for a small drive. I was never allowed to drive unsupervised, didn't have a license or anything. Was a thrill. I came back, parked, left the keys in the same drawer he left them in. Monday arrives, I come back from school and my dad asks me to come look at the car, with a death glare. I had forgot to pull the seat back after adjusting them for my 14-year-old legs. Dang, you almost got away with it. My 14-year-old self would have made a crappy lie about just sitting in car pretend driving it.